All right, guys, how's it going? Been to the gym again. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, so what? Listen, man, do you know what I mean? Like, I've done no exercise since I was at school. You know what I'm saying? The only exercise I've done since I left school was probably around 1994 when I heard the ice cream van. And I was like, what's that fucking like that? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I've been to the gym again. I've not quit yet anyway, put it out. I'm a bit sore though, but my mate's like, he's not like letting me out of it, you know what I mean? He's like, come on, we're off. So anyway, done that. Right, what did I want to talk to you about? All right, okay, so I just got like something for your information, FYI. And like, it's not very exciting, but it's still something that, you know, that's being passed to me. And, you know, I think that a lot of these people out there, you know, they want to make out they know this, they know that and everything. I've been here 7 years. Is it 27 or 26? I think I'm going into my 27th year with KopTalk in the next month, I think. I think next month we'll start the 27th year. And despite all that time and all the people, you know, that you build up like a little network of friends more than anything in different places, you only get bits and pieces. That's why I'm always suspicious of anyone that knows everything. Do you know what I mean, guys? So all I can do is be honest with you. And I was contacted recently by someone, and this isn't someone that is known to me personally and isn't one of those people from my network over the years. I want to make that very clear. But what if it turns out that what they're saying is accurate, right? So I like to still pass these things on to you, selective things, not everything that fucking people say to me, just for your information. Just like if you see something come up in a few weeks' time, you can go, ooh, was it that? Do you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I did a video recently regarding Ruben Neves, who is at Al Hilal. Now, he obviously played for Wolverhampton Wanderers before, right? And the information was a little bit confusing, to be honest with you, and I don't really know how it all goes together. But I can kind of see it, right? Let me explain. So, I know a little bit more than I did when I made that video, right? And apparently Liverpool Football Club have communicated with Wolves recently, right? Within the last week or two, right? And we know that we've seen the speculation linking us with Nouri, is that his name? You know, the left back at Wolves. And we know that he's represented by Chesterfield, and that Liverpool had a meeting recently on site with Chesterfield, and it's believed that he was one of the people that Liverpool were inquiring about. Now, when they say Liverpool have had talks, transfer talks, we don't know the extent of those talks. A talk is, oh, how's he doing? Do you think you'll be selling him? Will he be going? That's talks, right? Or how much would it cost us to sign him to make it happen? That's talks. We don't know the level of the conversations, right? But what I heard was that there was this conversation about several players with Chesterfield, which is nothing new because we're always talking to them. And it sounded like that defender was a little bit too much for Liverpool. Maybe the deal to make it happen, because it sounds like Liverpool are looking at him as a backup player. You know, we don't know what's going to happen with Tsimikas. You know, some people are saying, well, Andy Robertson, you know, he's not going to be there. I don't know, right? I don't know. But what we do know, I think is safe to say, is that Liverpool have at least registered an interest in him and inquired to an extent about availability and how much it would cost to make that happen with Chesterfield, right? Now, since then, I'm led to believe that Liverpool have been talking to Wolves direct. Now, that's, you know, like, it could be about Nouri, you know, it could be about how much would it cost to make it happen, you know, or negotiating, for example. But I'm not sure it's that, to be honest with you. A name that was mentioned to me at the same time was Pedro Neto. Now, Pedro Neto is a player that's been linked with Liverpool for donkey's years, right? And if you haven't followed my channel for long, or if you're not a VIP member, so you're not within the community talking to people every day, you maybe aren't aware that some time ago, I can't remember when it was around all the COVID and lockdowns and shit like that, that Liverpool, with the consent of Wolves, had Pedro Neto go through some kind of medical examination. Not a medical ahead of a transfer, but wanted him looked at, and apparently Wolves consented, and that happened. Now, that claim, right, that specific claim regarding that medical examination, I know I can't say a fact, you know what I mean? Like, I can't force that on you, but I'm absolutely 1 billion% confident that where that came from would know, and they would be bang on. That's someone that's been on the members' website for years. I know the capacity of where they got that information from, and it would be to do with the medical sides of things at Anfield, right? So my opinion, whether you believe it or not, that's up to you. You know, I always encourage you to make your own minds up, right? I absolutely believe 1 million% that Liverpool did have him looked at through some sort of medical examination. Now, when Jurgen Klopp left Liverpool, I thought the Pedro Neto stuff might stop, right? I thought, I wonder if that'll stop now, because you look, what you're going to do is, there's obviously the recruitment team and people behind the scenes that have got recommendations and players that they favour, is that the right word? And then you've got Jurgen Klopp that obviously had players he favoured, like Darwin Núñez, you know what I mean? Can you hear that? Can you hear that banging? There'll be some banging going on here this weekend, I tell you. You'll have to watch my morning briefings. So I just wondered if maybe the Pedro Neto stuff would stop. Like, was that a Jurgen Klopp consideration? Was it someone, because we were told that Jurgen really liked him, but Jurgen's left and he's still been linked with us. We've still seen that. But if you look at him, he's got a terrible injury record. We went through this on a live stream recently. We went through this on a live stream only a few nights ago and looked at the amount of injuries that he's had and the games he misses. And we read an article by an Arsenal fan, because they're really linked with him at the moment. And this Arsenal fan was saying he'd still be worth recruiting. Okay, I'll shut the window, because that'll make all the fucking difference, won't it? Arsenal are heavily linked with him at the moment, and this Arsenal fan wrote an article saying why he thinks it would still be a good idea for Arsenal to sign him, basically going along the lines of saying that he would play more games than their fringe players play over the course of a season if he maintained the same kind of injury status, or missed that many games. And his other defence was that at Wolves, Pedro Neto is relied on more, so they need to get him back from injury quicker, whereas at Arsenal, there wouldn't be the pressure to have him back all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, he can take longer out. At Wolves, he's the main man, right? And the other suggestion was that at Wolves, he's a targeted man by the opposition. We've got to take Pedro Neto out of the game. He's their main man. At Arsenal, maybe that wouldn't be the case. So he made a good, defence for it, but still, you know what I mean? I just don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. So you've got to think about what I'm not going to, there is an obvious name at Wolves, but I'm not going to plant that seed because I don't know if that's right. So it could be Aït-Nouri, it could be Pedro Neto, but it could be someone else at Wolves, right? Now, I know that's not very helpful, and there'll be people that are sarcastic, casual visitors going, oh, right, so it could be this, could be that. Listen, right, this is real fucking talk around here. We don't make this shit up, right? We just got to try and work it out between ourselves. The message in the video, the reason for the video, is to say that there's communication between Wolves. And I've been told where that communication has been. No, let me rephrase that. I've been told the position of the person that's passed that information on to someone that's been in touch with me. And if I was to say who that was, that person said, I'll be dead, sort of thing. It can't be, they've got to protect who said it. And I trust them. I trust them. But they are not someone from what I would call my network of people that I can say, you know what I mean? What was the other key thing? Right, so going back to Ruben Neves at Al Hilal, who once played for Wolves. This is what's kind of been suggested. Liverpool speak to Wolves. They're speaking to Wolves about whoever. We don't know who it is, right? And maybe nothing will come in. I don't fucking know, right? And during that conversation, he came up in conversation, right? Ruben Neves. And he left Wolves in 2023, right, for Al Hilal. And during that conversation, it was, what's the state of play with his contract? Is there a release clause? Is there a buyback and all that? And that little bit of information was spun into, spun's the wrong word, maybe misunderstood or, as to Liverpool have made an inquiry regarding his availability. I guess it technically is like an inquiry, but an inquiry to his present club is different to speaking to his old club, someone that works there, and saying, well, what was in his contract? Let's say it's the chief executive at Wolves, which it isn't, right? A passing conversation like, what happened with who is it? What's his contract like? Is there an option for him to come back? So is that really an inquiry? It is an inquiry, but it isn't an inquiry to the inquiries that we sort of talk about all the time. Does that make sense? And it sounds plausible, doesn't it? I think it all sounds quite interesting. Do you know what I mean? You can imagine that conversation. So when I made my video saying to you guys, Liverpool have made an inquiry, right? I think I was a little bit, I don't want to say wrong, because technically I was right. But it maybe sounded more solid, because when I say to you we've made an inquiry about someone, usually that is to the players holding club to see if Liverpool might be interested in doing a deal. But I don't think that was the case. I think it was Liverpool talking to Wolves, who would have knowledge of his contract situation because he left Wolves. Still an inquiry, but not the same thing. And it's important that I make that clear and clarify that a little bit, because some people are like, oh, fucking hell, we're going to sign him. It could just be like Liverpool, just as a matter of no interest in the player, just saying, oh, by the way, what was the crack with that then, Dave? Do you know what I mean? It could just be that. And before you know it, someone's like that. Liverpool made, do you know what I mean? But that don't matter, right? The focus here, what I want you to do, is just look out to see if anything comes up with Wolves, over the rest of the window. Maybe it won't. Maybe Liverpool have spoken to them. Look, we met with Chesterfield. We know that we can do this deal, but, is there room for negotiation here? It could have been something as simple as that regarding the defender, the left-back, Nouri, or whatever he's called. But it could be Pedro Neto. But I just don't see Liverpool doing that because of his injuries. But I don't understand why we keep being linked with him. We had him looked once at a medical examination, but then nothing followed up. I think he was injured again after that. So maybe that's sailed. But could it be somebody else at Wolves? And that's the bit that I just want you to think. So please don't if this is, you do get people online, the casual people, not my regular viewers around here, but the casual viewers coming and going, well, it's okay, so really you haven't told us anything. Actually, I have told you something. What I'm telling you is, this is the real world for the grown-ups. Just look out to see if something comes up from Wolves over the coming weeks. If it does, you can think, oh, Big Dunk was right. Dunk knows best. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting it out there. Listen, every time I make a video for you guys, I always say, make your own mind up. Do you know what I mean? Because some of us have different opinions. I can make a video sometimes, you guys will go, nah, Dunk, it doesn't sound right. And I'll go, yeah. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you'll chip bits in saying, what about this Dunk? Oh, that fuck. And how many times have we made videos over the years on here and I've said, guys, I don't understand it. It feels like something's happening with this, but I can't put my finger on it. And then 6 months later, we all go, fuck, wait, it was that. Do you know what I mean? So I actually like videos like this because it makes you think. Maybe a so-called ITK or these people that are just interested in generating revenue or doing whatever would be making, like a big exciting video, Liverpool approaching transfer talks, and a fucking thumbnail, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I've just been honest and say I ain't got a fucking clue, guys. But it all sounds plausible. That's it. That's all I've got for you. The majority of you on here are grown-ups, do you know what I mean? And get it. And understand what this YouTube channel is about. So I'm going to leave that with you. All right. And I should have been talking to you about that last week, to be honest with you, but I'm behind on my videos. So I'll just keep an eye on Wolves. That's it. And I'm just going to leave you in the comment section to put forward your suggestions. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe that will come with it. I'm fucking interested anyway, to be honest with you, because my tea's nearly ready. I'm having chicken. Yeah, for a change. Right, that's it then. All right, so I'm going live on here tonight at 7 o'clock UK time. That's 50 minutes from now. All right, so we'll have a discussion then. During the week, I do lives on here 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. UK time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with the exception of Monday afternoon. I don't usually do one because my boy in America, Smoothie's off on a Monday, so we go on the Xbox, you know what I'm saying, and catch up on that. But certainly every day at 7 o'clock during the week, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday 2. All right. That's it. So if you appreciate the video, boom, thumbs up. Please leave a comment. Have you seen any charter to do Wolves or something like that? Do you know what? Maybe sometimes you could just be, a football director or someone can be friends with someone at another club and just have like a meaningful, like just a conversation. Like, what's happening with him then? Is he on his way? You're looking at say, right, yeah. Oh, Nunes, he's useless cutting. You don't know what we're going to do with him today. Could just be a conversation like that, and before you know it, someone's heard something. Oh, Liverpool on the phone's going down. How many times do we hear, suggestions of Liverpool doing this, doing that? There's got to be times when you have a normal conversation. I go around to the bar around the corner from me, and I'll go, that lad, that lass, that lad, because here, I'm not going to mention any names here, but I'll say, that chick that's, who is it? And they'll go, yeah. Say, what's going on there then? Well, I may say, it looks like they might be getting together. Right. Now, when I leave, I hope they don't say Dunk's made an inquiry about her, because I think do you know what I'm saying? I'm just asking, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she's nice, to be honest. But that's not the point, is it? I was just asking a passing question, When I leave, did I go like, oh, Dunk's closing in, winning the race? No, I was just asking if she does a turn, that's all, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'll leave it with you. Thumbs up, comment, and if you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, hit that super thanks button. I'll give you a shout out in the morning. Hooray.